This is a 7 News on Your Side special. 2024 Sports in Review.
Hello, and thank you for joining us tonight as we take a look back at sports in 2024. I'm Natalie Spalla, he is Scott Abraham, and we have a ton of stories to pass along to you over the next 30 minutes. And Scott, we're going to start the night off with the obvious top story of the year, the surprising turnaround of the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, Natalie, for this Washington NFL franchise, the quarterback position has been the missing piece for decades. It's been a revolving door in Ashburn, but finally, it looks like Washington has solved their QB dilemma. His name, Jayden Daniels.
The Washington Commanders select Jayden Daniels, quarterback, LSU.
It started in April. Jayden Daniels walking across the stage in Detroit, putting on that Commander's hat for the very first time.
Maybe you've heard about the QB carousel that's been going on in Washington for the past decade, but a lot of our Commanders fan base thinks you're going to be the guy to put that to bed. What do you kind of make of that?
I mean, it's kind of just go with the flow. I got to earn my role. I got to earn the respect. I'm just going to go out there and put my head down and work.
And that's exactly what the number 2 overall pick did when he arrived in Washington. Rookie minicamp, OTAs, training camp. Jayden showing that he belonged, living out a childhood vision.
The realization of being in the NFL, what is that emotion like, putting this on for the first time?
Yeah, I mean, it was a blessing, trying to soak it all in. This is my first NFL practice. Just that 9-year-old kid in me, just realizing that his dreams came true.
The Commanders handling Jayden the right way. They didn't hand him the keys to the kingdom from day one. He had to earn it, eventually being named the starter in mid-August.
What's impressed you about number 5?
He has all the talent in the world. And you always hear that thing, talent gets you so far. You got to put work to it, and I can see he's putting that work to it.
I'm just excited to see everything he can do. He wasn't short to amaze me with anything he can do. He got all the talent, to do everything he want to do in this league. His skill set is off the charts.
The Commanders shocking the entire league, starting 7-2 to begin the season. Jayden a big reason for the success.
Why do you think he's having this type of success so early?
Well, Scott, I don't think it's not any magic that's going into this. I know that's hard to say, but he absolutely works his ass off.
Work ethic, drive, all important. But so was talent. Jayden Daniels has plenty, and the Commanders are in good hands with number 5.
It's so refreshing to see good football being played once again here in Washington. From the early days of OTAs and training camp, there's been this new feeling surrounding the team, and that sense of a dark cloud, it's been lifted.
Yeah, Scott, you are exactly right. And you don't need to look much further than the Commanders fan base to know that that is the case. People are proudly wearing the burgundy and gold colors once again. And for the first time in a long time, they say this is a franchise worth cheering for.
Honey. Food, fans, and football. On Sunday afternoons in Landover, Maryland, you can't have one without the other.
It's good to have everything back. It's so much more fun on Sundays, and the interest is definitely 100% back.
It's where a concrete jungle becomes the hottest spot in town. Where fans, old and young,
go Commanders!
From far and wide.
We're from Delaware, Millsboro, Delaware.
Stake their claim to a parking spot and prepare to cheer on the Washington Commanders.
Go Commanders!
It's where you'll find the McGee family, sisters Kim and Jody.
Actually, Daniels is my favorite, but he is a heck of a receiver, so the two of them together are a winning pair.
And their father-in-law Glenn, who bought his first season tickets in 1961.
If you had one word to maybe just describe that stretch of time that you have been a lifelong Redskins, Washington football team, Commanders fan, what would that word be?
Interesting.
What was once a stadium drenched with opposing teams' colors has become a scene you don't want to miss.
It's different watching it on TV versus being in the stadium, feeling that energy, that comes with a Commander's victory.
Immersed in the sounds of Raise Hail chants, one thing is clear. It's a good day to be a Washington Commander.
Speaking of fan bases, support for the NWSL rose to new heights this season, and a lot of that growth took place right here in D.C. Washington Spirit games became can't-miss matchups, with thousands of fans getting rowdy at Audi every weekend. It's no secret the team did a lot of winning this season, but not only were those record-breaking crowds special to see, they also became impossible to ignore.
This year, no DC sports team saw success like the Washington Spirit.
As a team, I am very proud. As a coach, I am very proud of all of them. But I don't want to stay here. I want to keep moving forward.
The Spirit fell just one win short of an NWSL title, but they shattered expectations along the way, with some of the team's youngest players leading the charge.
You know, I feel that connection. I feel that everyone's on the same page. We're kind of all ready to sacrifice for one another.
A connection that only grew stronger as injuries began to take their toll late in the year. But as stars Croy Bethune and Andy Sullivan sustained season-ending injuries, the Spirit's next woman up mentality helped the team rise above.
This team, you just can never really count them out. And whether it's injuries, whether it's going down early, they are just really always finding ways to surprise you and to win games.
That must-see excitement drew fans to Audi Field all season. It reached new heights during the Spirit's postseason run, which featured back-to-back sold-out crowds of 19,000 plus.
There are fans wearing Spirit merch, fans waving flags, supporting their favorite players. There's an energy around this team and this fan base that hasn't been here before.
The support was evident on a cold fall night in November. The Spirit were in Kansas City for the finals, but fans filed out to DC's Randall Rec Center to cheer their team on.
They've accomplished so much. They've just been so inspiring. The different special events that they've had for the community and everything, it's just been wonderful to watch.
I always love to support women's sports, and I've loved seeing it grow this whole season.
So, win, lose, or draw, spirits are high, with so much to look forward to in 2025.
Stay with us. We are just getting started on our look back at the year in sports.
Up next, a bad break delays the Great Eight's chase of NHL history. How Alex Ovechkin is fighting to get back on the ice.
Plus, we take a look back at the Paris Summer Olympics and the DMV athletes that made the biggest impact for the red, white, and blue. Stay with us. We're back after this. I've said it time and time again, Alex Ovechkin is good at hockey. He got off to a scorching start this season. At one point, Ovi was leading the NHL in scoring, 15 goals in 18 games, and boosting his career total to 868.
Oh, yes. Well, that was just until he got injured in mid-November after taking a hit in a game against Utah. So Ovechkin's chase for breaking Wayne Gretzky's all-time scoring record, it may be postponed, but it's certainly not over.
20 seasons of the Great Eight.
When I was a little kid, I was dreaming to play in the NHL, and I'm still here. So, yeah, you just enjoy the moment and enjoy life.
They say availability can be an athlete's greatest ability, and year after year, Alex Ovechkin has been tried and true. Starting the season just 42 goals away from breaking the NHL all-time scoring record, Ovi sat down with our Scott Abraham before the season began to talk about the chase.
I know it's your favorite question every year. 42 goals away.
We'll see. We're going to try to do our best, myself and my teammates, so we'll see.
A humble answer from a guy who knows nothing is guaranteed. But once the puck dropped on the 2024 season, the chase quickly heated up. Ovi scoring 15 goals in 18 games before breaking his left fibula in mid-November and was ruled out 4 to 6 weeks.
Not having Alex Ovechkin, it's not just missing him, it's the rest of the pieces not fitting together. And then there's no one who can do what Alex Ovechkin does as that top line left winger. And then all of a sudden, you're taking something from your second line or your third line.
In the days following his injury, the Capitals would lose back-to-back games. After that, they were able to steady the ship, winning 6 of their next 7.
There is enough talent on this team, I believe, what Brian McClellan did last offseason to sort of stay afloat over the next few weeks.
And just 2 weeks after breaking his leg, Ovi was spotted back on the ice. The hunger of a true competitor doing everything he can to get back into the Caps lineup.
The Paris Summer Olympics were one of the most anticipated Olympics in a long time. And you know what? Boy, did they deliver. So many amazing moments from the games. There's just something about that Olympic spirit that brings everybody together. Let's just say the DMV region was well represented on the biggest stage of sports.
The Olympics come around once every 4 years. So much pressure, athletes having one shot to be at their best in one moment. On the track, Alexandria City High School grad Noah Lyles becoming the fastest man in the world, winning the 100-meter dash in a photo finish. He also won bronze in the 200 meters. Let's hear it for Prince George's County native and Bullis School grad Masai Russell, Olympic champion in the 100-meter hurdles, a career-defining victory for the 24-year-old.
To look at it and resonate on what you've done, it's like, you know, it's a good reminder of how great you've done, but I like to put it away because it's like, it happened, it's time to make it happen again.
16-year-old Bullis School student-athlete Quincy Wilson stole the show in Paris. He ran in the prelims of the 4x400-meter relay. That relay team won gold in the final. Wilson becoming the youngest male athlete to win a gold medal in track and field.
I'm a very competitive person, and when I came out there, I had a lot of people that were not trying to lose to a 16-year-old.
In the pool, Tori Husk was a beast. The Arlington native won 5 medals in Paris. 3 of those medals were gold.
When a little kid sees someone who looks like them on the screen, I feel like that can be really big for them. Like, they can realize, oh, like, they did that. Like, I can do that too.
And you can't forget about the GOAT, Bethesda native Katie Ledecky, adding 4 more Olympic medals to her collection. 2 were gold. Ledecky is now the most decorated U.S. female Olympian of all time.
I'm going to keep going, so I'd love to be able to compete in Los Angeles if I can in 2028, so I'll take it 1 year at a time between now and then.
Bring on LA in 2028, the DMV region ready to shine again.
Hey, we're just getting started here. It's a youth movement with the Washington Nationals. How some new faces might speed up the rebuild. Plus, we dive deeper into the transformation of the Commanders, from the front office to the coaching staff. How brighter days are ahead for the franchise. That's coming your way next. Stay with us.
Welcome back. As cliche as it may sound, culture is everything when it comes to sports. Relationships in the locker room and behind closed doors often reflect chemistry on the field. And Scott, it is no secret the most successful teams often have the best culture.
Natalie, remember those infamous words from Bruce Allen? The culture is dang good. That was during a press conference back in 2019. And for the next 4 years, the Washington NFL franchise imploded. From the locker room to the fan base, it was a mess. But times are changing. It's now the rebirth in Washington.
When team owner Josh Harris took over the franchise in July of 2023, you knew changes were coming. His first big front office hire was general manager Adam Peters.
I can't tell you guys how excited I am to be here. This is absolutely incredible. I've been pinching myself, and I'm so excited to get started.
Now, Adam's first order of business, finding a new head coach. Many believed Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson was the front runner. But when Johnson took his name out of the process, Washington moved quickly, hiring Dan Quinn for the job.
You have short-term goals and you have long-term goals. What does success look like for you at the end of this 2024 season?
I think as we're recalibrating here and finding our north, we want to make sure that we find our identity. And so when our fans and friends and family watch us play, they know this is how we get it on.
Peters and Quinn, yes, it sounds like a law firm, quickly became inseparable. The draft was a success, selecting a tremendous crop of rookies. Then free agency, Bobby Wagner, Zach Ertz, and Frankie Louvu, all wanting to come to Washington.
For a long time being in this division, there was kind of a dark cloud over this place from afar, but now that I've been here, it couldn't be further from what the narrative was going into this thing. I've enjoyed every bit of it.
Locker room energy is great. I mean, practice has been over, for an hour and 15 minutes, and the locker room's still halfway filled. No one's in a real rush to leave work.
The changes from top to bottom feels different.
Feels a lot different from the other previous 4 seasons I was here.
Culture doesn't change overnight. It takes time, but clearly, Adam Peters and Dan Quinn already have the trust and respect from the locker room.
It was a season of progress for the Washington Nationals. The team once again missed out on the postseason, but showed signs that this can be a competitive ball team in the near future. Look no further than the Nats' youngest stars, James Wood and Dylan Cruz. The outfielders weren't on the team's opening day roster, but once they were called up, they wasted no time proving they belonged.
Washington's next superstars have arrived.
It's cool just being back home, having my family here, just trying to soak it all in.
The Nationals' 2024 season featured 2 high-profile debuts. On July 1st, Washington was introduced to 6'7" Rockville, Maryland native James Wood.
He's had the spotlight for a while now. He understands, what comes with him playing here. So, like I said, my job is to kind of get him through it.
Wood did more than simply get through it. Mark Zuckerman, who covers the team with Masson, tells me it was only a matter of time before Wood's big league game began to match his big league frame.
He was hitting the ball incredibly hard. His exit velocities were among the best in baseball. Sometimes they just happen to be on the ground. And then over the course of the 3 months that he was in the big leagues, he now started to hit the ball hard in the air.
Less than 2 months later, on a warm summer night against the Yankees, Dylan Cruz would join Wood in the outfield.
They knew it was a bright light, big stage with Judge and Soto on the other side, full house at the ballpark. What impressed me most about him was just his ability to adjust to the big leagues and look like he belonged.
As individual growth and development remain top of mind.
Yeah, it's a young group, bright future, and it's exciting. We get better every day together. It's coming together for sure.
It appears Washington has their young core poised to lead the group into the future.
The feeling is if they both realize their potential, that the Nationals are going to have 2 absolute cornerstone outfielders who bat, say, second and third for them for many years to come and lead them back to the promised land.
There is still much more to come on our look back at a year in sports. Straight ahead, we hit the hardwood and go one-on-one with Wizards big man, rookie Alex Sarr.
Plus, it was a year to remember for women's basketball. Some of the game's newest and brightest stars paid a visit to the district. Don't go anywhere. Those stories are straight ahead.
Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. No one dominated women's basketball headlines like those two in 2024. From leading their college teams deep into the NCAA tournament to breaking WNBA rookie records. The two lifted the sport to new heights this year by selling out arenas and driving viewership to new levels.
No question about it. In 2024, the women owned the hardwood. Some of the game's biggest stars, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, not only took their talents to the WNBA this year, but they took their fans with them.
It's fun to see people in fever gear. It's fun to see people screaming about women's basketball. That's not anything you take for granted.
I'm just happy to be a part of this, negative or positive, knowing that people are just talking about women's basketball. That's really important.
During her final year with the Iowa Hawkeyes, Clark rewrote the record books. In early March, the sharpshooter became the NCAA's leading scorer, passing Pistol Pete Maravich's record, which had stood since 1970.
The Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark.
In April, she was drafted first overall by the Indiana Fever, and 2 months later, faced the Mystics in a sold-out Capital One Arena, setting, at the time, the league's single-game attendance record of over 20,000.
I try to look around and take it in, every place is new. It's a great environment. Every place is unique. But also, this is my first year in the W, so it's has a little extra sentiment to it.
And just one day prior, LSU's Angel Reese returned home. Drafted by the Chicago Sky, the Baltimore native's love for the game was apparent on and off the court this season.
This is long overdue. So many of these women in this league have deserved this. I've been watching the WNBA for a really long time, and I knew one day I wanted to play in this arena, this exact arena in front of my family and my friends. So being able to be here has been great.
This year, record viewership and sold-out crowds became the norm of the WNBA landscape. That shows no signs of slowing down in 2025.
In recent years, the Washington Wizards' struggles have been real. They only managed 15 wins last season, and they're on pace for a similar result right now. Well, this year, just like the Commanders, the Wizards had the #2 overall pick in the draft.
And Natalie, safe to say Washington went big, really big. How about a 7-footer from France? Rookie Alex Sarr, now a foundational piece for the franchise.
From France to Washington, D.C., Alex Sarr, now an NBA rookie with the Wizards.
What are some of your goals, Alex?
My goals is just impacting the team in a positive way, winning games, being a presence defensively, and just getting better as the year goes on.
He's only 19 years old. Sarr getting better each and every game on the court.
What is it like to block another dude's shot and just swat it? What is that feeling like?
Pretty great. It depends when, but feels pretty good, but it's not too hard. I mean, it depends, but it's a pretty good feeling.
What's a better feeling, getting a nasty block or a nasty dunk?
A nasty dunk.
Why?
Because you just dunk the ball, it's 2 points.
I like that.
There's certainly some pressure on Sarr to deliver. High draft pick comes high expectations. The Wizards front office, though, are strong believers in the French big man.
Sarr is a talented player. Defensively, you'll probably see it more so than offensively to start the year, but his approach, his ability to switch, guard, defend, protect the rim.
At least for his rookie year, Sarr has become a sponge, watching and learning from NBA vets that have done it for years.
It's always fun seeing rookies when they first come in and their eyes light up and how excited they are to be here and live in the moment. And I think that I will always resonate with that.
Having the right mindset is half the battle. The spotlight doesn't faze Alex Sarr.
Everything I do, I try to do at a high standard, so it's not really too challenging for me, and I feel like it's more a blessing to be in this situation.
A bright future awaits, with hopefully many wins on the horizon, with Sarr leading the way.
Wow, what a year it's been. Through the highs and the lows, the twists and the turns, it was another fantastic year for sports here in the DMV. And we're closing out the year with so much to look forward to in the year ahead.
Oh yeah, I could not agree more. And I say, hey, let's do it again next year.
Let's do it again, my friend.
All right, from Scott and I and the rest of the 7 News Sports team, thank you so much for joining us. Have a safe and happy new year. Good night.